Chapter 2. Riverside Shadows. The forest begins like a secret, polite, with small invitations. Alder and poplar stand like mild interrogators. Pine leans over the path like an old friend. The river keeps to its old argument with the bank, running bright and honest. We walked there most afternoons, Zaid and I, when Ursa would be above with her pencils, and our parents would be in their study, and the house would fold itself into a comfortable nap. On that day, the light had a thin winter clarity, though it was no longer winter. We moved through bracken. There was a presence. No, not a presence, a noticing, like a hand cupping a thought. The hairs on my neck rose and stayed like wheat. Zaid slowed, the way someone who knows the language of quiet will.
Did you feel it? I whispered.
He nodded. He touched a mossy root the way men touch sleeping animals, gentle, reverent. We crept the riverbank and the reeds tapped like nervous fingers. Once, a splash, small, and nobody saw it. The presence thinned whenever we tried to look directly, like breath through a curtain. Near a curve, where the bed made a little hollow, I saw a figure. It stood behind a willow, still as something placed. I called Zaid, and it was gone, as if the air had closed over it. We searched, expecting ribbons or footprints. Instead we found a stone. It was black and matte, heavy for its size, with veins that ran like dried river lines across it. Up close it drank light rather than reflect it. It hummed faintly, a sound felt more than heard. It was the size of a melon but not round. There were ridges like a folded scale, as though something had grown inside it and then learned to sleep. Zaid picked it up. It was warm. He held it with both palms like a man holding a secret. It made the funny, small noises stones do when they are not stones. We pocketed it, because boys pocket curiosities like priests pocket rosaries, and we took it back to the house. At the kitchen table, the thing sat, and people asked the usual questions. My mother dusted flour over her palms and asked what we had found. My father frowned at the word stone, as if numbers should explain it away. Aslam and Noshaba came in for tea. When they saw it, their faces folded sideways, recognition without words. They looked at each other as people do when a ghost walks through the door and nods with old grief.
"Where did you take it?" Noshaba asked, in a voice small and careful.
"By the river," Zaid said.
Aslam's jaw worked. "Leave it there," he said finally. "Put it where you found it."
We were children. We hid it on the mantle because that is what children do. They make shrines of what they cannot understand. The stone sat there like a black moon, and the house began to hum a little with its presence. At night it made the room feel smaller, and like the world had folded briefly to peer at us.